FTT and Luna collapsed in 2022, but the dollar may actually be the currency that does not make it through 2023 alive. I've been diving deep into a massive global plan that the American government and media does not want you to know about. Now, obviously Uncle Sam wants you to just keep working hard and earning dollars without asking any real questions. But a lot of you watching this video know that the US government is scrambling behind the scenes to fight a new threat to national security. Some of you know, but sadly, not all of you do. But fear not, because I always have your back. In 2023, just as in the past, I will deliver the info that you need to relentlessly pursue some generational wealth. But before we get into all that information, make sure that you smash that like button. Make sure you hit subscribe, boom, bang on that notification bell. Comment anything that you want in the relevant sections. I appreciate it. Now, let's go figure out what the US government is doing in the background and why they're so scared of gold and silver. Now, gold is the #1 recession-proof asset that you need to own right now. And if you don't know where to get it, click the link in the description. I've always got that for you. Of course, as a crypto holder, I also think that Bitcoin and cryptocurrency assets could be a very good store of value, just like gold and silver, but gold and silver and the precious metals will always be king. And that is why they are backing a lot of these stable coins with physical gold and silver now. In this series, I have shown you what you need to know about the history of gold versus how today's gold markets actually operate. Now, in the latest episode, I ended on a pessimistic note by describing how the world's most powerful banks and financial institutions have been working to suppress the price of gold for actually decades. Now, I did this on purpose because I did not want you to just run out and buy gold just because that is the action that I am personally taking with my portfolio. And I've already got my stuff locked in. I wanted to give you a little taste of the hell that retail gold investors have been living in before you come into the game, just as gold prices are about to be set free and hopefully surge higher. But that was the last episode. Now I am going to share with you why I am so confident that a brick is coming to the head of the guys that are actually in the background suppressing the price of gold very soon. And why I believe that gold will act as much more than just a stable recession-proof asset in 2023. As I've said, big banks like Citigroup, JP Morgan have been actually given the green light by the US Federal Reserve and the COMEX market itself to flood the metals derivatives market with massive options and futures trading volume. So much volume that it actually eclipses the underlying value of gold held in reserves by several orders of magnitude. This operation has successfully allowed these and many other massive banks to profit like you would not ever fathom or believe, but has also allowed the US monetary policy community to maintain the dollar's global supremacy while they actually print trillions and trillions of more dollars. All that printing should have caused investors to sell their dollars for gold in anticipation of a hyperinflationary dollar, but here we are. And investors did not buy gold, and the US Bureau of Labor Statistics has only in the last 12 months begun to publish higher than normal inflation rates. Weird. Now, while these powerful American institutions have operated in lockstep to manufacture a healthy image of the dollar as a worthwhile store of value, I believe that the US monetary policy community now knows that their days of control of gold prices are actually numbered. And if you know your history, the US government actually took the dollar off of the gold standard in 1971, which opened the door to immense amounts of government spending unlimited by a fixed exchange rate to a single ounce of gold. And 1971 was 52 years ago, and now the powers that be are looking to potentially settle that score. The BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, China, and South Africa, along with Turkey and Saudi Arabia, maybe potentially Argentina, have finally realized what a massive opportunity, and it is theirs for the taking. There are a lot of details involving the petrodollar and the role of major oil producers in global markets, but I don't have time to get into that here. That could be in a new series, or you could go Google it for yourself. What is important to know is that most international trade is valued and fulfilled in US dollars. That is one of the perks that America enjoys as the owner of the world's reserve currency. But in 2023, that status quo of American dominance is set to end. The BRICS nations, like most nations around the world, hold large amounts of US dollars and US treasuries in their national reserves to fortify and stabilize the local currency and markets within their own economies. Hence the term world reserve currency. In 2022, economists observed the BRICS and many other nations began to pause the purchasing of additional US treasuries and in some cases even sell US treasuries and dollars. This shift began in part because of an unprecedented new sanction placed on Russia's central bank assets held in foreign countries in late February of 2022 as Russia started its invasion of Ukraine. Whether this overpowered move by the US and its allies was justified or not, it just actually shows us that the rest of the world that the US was now willing to weaponize the private Western financial system to project power against a sovereign nation. Now, since that bombshell display of force in early 2022, economists have actually observed a trend of nations divesting from US debt notes and instead buying gold in reserve. And just as a quick geopolitical note, I know that from a Western standpoint, it might be hard to imagine that all the geopolitical leaders of the sovereign nations of the world could be doing anything other than cheering on big bad America, but that is the reality that we are living in right now. And you have to remember that the further you get away from Washington, D.C., the more you walk in the sphere of influence of other powerful nations. And countries like Turkey, Brazil, and especially Russia and China see themselves as one day being those similar levels of influence as the United States, especially if they do it together. So America's loss is essentially their gain. And in fact, I think that China is already a peer to the US in military strength and global influence. Unpopular opinion, but that might be true. However, the might of China's currency pales in comparison to the dollar. Now, toppling the dollar may actually be the final piece of the puzzle, keeping China from taking a huge step forward into the #1 spot. Now, they are actually moving faster on this, and it's really unsettling to observe. Even the American media outlet Fox Business reported as far back as October of 2022 that China and Russia had been working together to create a gold-backed digital currency, and now they are adding more nations every single year. In the final days of 2022, Russia actually officially seized on the mounting de-dollarization around the world by launching a gold-backed digital currency, a currency that would actually operate outside of the US monetary system that the government cannot sanction. The Russians may have actually just captured the Queen and put America in check. Now the world has to eagerly watch as the US has to make the next move in the global game of currency wars chess. What could be the final battlefield for global supremacy? Now, setting aside the anxiety-inducing situation that the global financial system is currently in, let me highlight what is important for your portfolio. After all, that's what we're all here for. This could actually be the year that the US Federal Reserve and the big banks not only lose control of gold prices, it could also be the year that investors flood out of the dollar and into gold and new gold-backed assets and currencies, as well as other precious metals like silver. Now, I am going to explore in the next episode the different investment instruments that you can actually utilize to get in and out of these markets. But now you can see how I've set up the pieces and how they will be arranged. And make sure you click my link in the description if you have absolutely no idea how to go buy some gold or silver and get it shipped to you physically. And regardless of how much of an American patriot you are, I believe that it is important to know how aggressively US monetary policy leaders are perverting or straight up ignoring America's founding values to prop up a failing dollar. And they're trying to roll out a FedCoin digital dollar that is an absolute animal in and of itself. Go watch the series if you happen to give a F. Might just open your eyes a little bit. And if you like this series so far, make sure you show up to the old videos and make sure you come to the new ones. And if you like content like this on my channel, make sure that you smash that like button. Make sure you hit subscribe, boom, bang on that notification bell. Comment anything that you want in the relevant sections. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for showing up to this video. I will see you in the next one. Have a good day, everyone.